What's up, guys? This is Drew Evans, aka Bear. I'm bringing to you today my camping slash emergency slash buck out slash shit hit the fan bag. It is my everything use. Um, it has half a Walmart in it. I'm also going to go over some ideas and things to think about when you're trying to, plan for any kind of emergency, um, or if you just want to watch this for the camping aspect, for ideas, anything. Um, Let me start off with saying I'm not endorsed by anybody. All the gear that I have is just stuff that I bought on my own, um, stuff that I've really come to like and know. If something turns out not working, I'll replace it. But a lot of the stuff I've had in here, I've had for 10, 12 years, ever since I was a little Boy Scout. So, um, everything has been field tested. If there's anything that you guys want to see tested, I can do a review video on it. Just let me know, and I'll, take general consensus on those types of things. Um, all right. For those of you who are either just beginning or want more ideas, stay tuned. For those of you who have a pretty broad knowledge already and just want to see my pack, you might want to skip ahead a little bit. I'm also going to do a very, very brief rundown of my EDC items. Um, Very, very brief. Um, it's going to be kind of a long video anyhow, so I don't want to take up too much time on any particular item. Um, for you newbies, best thing you can do is just kind of read up on basic survival stuff. I lucked out. I was in the Scouts way back in the day. I live in a very rural area, as you can obviously see. For those of you not lucky enough and you're stuck in the city, try and get out to maybe your nearest state park or whatnot. Anything with a substantial amount of trees, maybe where you can go camping. If you've never been camping before, definitely look up on it. The first time you go can definitely sway you for a yay or nay situation if you ever want to go again. Um, so if you're using a bug out bag and you want to make a bug out bag, plan for not really an apocalypse type situation. Plan for more of a survival situation from either weather or some sort of electrical failure. The chances of real apocalypse are kind of slim to none, depending on who you're talking to. If you want to use this as a zombie kit, be my guest. Um, Anything and everything, you can have a pack for each one of those if you really wanted to. I personally change my loadout just depending on what I'm doing. You're going to see a lot of things in there that you're going to be like, oh, why is he carrying that? I don't carry all of this. It is, I carry a couple extra things for other people. I'm a big guy. I can carry a lot of weight. So a larger pack does not bother me. I've hiked with it. I can carry it. I believe my pack right now is somewhere around the 60 or 70 pound range. Does not bother me in the slightest. I can still do a 20-mile hike and be good. Even my rail thin cousin can carry it, and she's tiny. So don't be a pussy. One of the other main things is you need to make sure that you're in the proper shape for what you want to do. If you're anticipating some sort of apocalypse situation, you're going to want to get yourself in at least basic shape. I'm not saying you have to be some cross-country track star, be able to deadlift the front end of a truck. Good enough to where you can keep on your feet, keep moving, and not be completely exhausted after just a few hours of moving around. And get used to your pack. That's one of the biggest things that I don't think people realize is that if you make a pack, you need to practice with it. You need to walk around with it, hike with it, get used to the weight, get used to where everything is. If you are in a survival situation and you have this fantastic, $600 pack, it's not going to do you diddly crap if you don't know where anything is, if you don't have anything readily accessible, if you don't have the right type of things. I live in a very rural area, so I I have my loadout based for a very forested and hilly area. If you live in the city, your loadout's going to be slightly different. I personally, right now, don't carry any firearms. I only just turned legal about a year ago to own handguns. They are really hard to get. I live here in Western New York, so it's gun permits are kind of a pain in the ass to get out here. For those of you who live in another state, if you feel comfortable owning a firearm, do it. It's definitely a plus to any kind of survival pack or camping pack. I am a huge fan of bow and arrows. I cannot speak highly enough of a very skilled archer. It's definitely the way to go if you are in a survival situation. Crossbow if you really want to. If you're just doing camping, any of those three, guns, bows, or crossbows, they're all really fun just for shits and giggles. If you want to just go out and target practice, it's always good to stay sharp. Always practice, always keep up with your tools, always take care of your tools. If you have a gun, you're going to have to make sure you have a gun cleaning kit. Excuse me. If you have a bow or crossbow, spare strings, you're going to need maybe a small can of like all-purpose oil or whatnot for a crossbow, for some of the hinges on there. Just depends, again, on what type of thing you are carrying. Know your gear, know what you need. If you're trying to stay prepared, one thing that I did is I had a gigantic map of my entire county printed off. It's not in my pack, so you won't be able to see it. It's actually hanging up in my bedroom right now. It is a 4x4 map, grid systemed of my county. Just know your area. If you are anticipating some sort of shit hit the fan problem, or other kind of emergency, or if you're anticipating maybe hurricanes, tornadoes, any one of those natural disasters, you want a backup place to go. Because I live out here, I'm pretty much already in most people's choice place for backups in any kind of situation. I could take my pack anywhere here, just walk off into the hills, and I could just live. We've got fresh water sources. We've got a river, maybe about 150 yards behind me. We've got a lot of wildlife. So plan where you want to go. Don't just choke in an emergency and be like, oh my God, we don't have anywhere to go. We have nobody else. Make a plan. If you live on the coast, find something maybe a couple hours inland. Not saying you have to even leave your state, just depending on where you are. With the recent Hurricane Sandy hitting New York City and a lot of the east coast parts of New York, a lot of people fled inland if they could, and I think a lot of people would have been better off had they had an initial plan to where they could have gone upstate or farther westernly, like out here. It would have been a lot easier than trying to, just bull rush everybody out in one go. But again, that comes out of the whole panic thing of trying to leave. If you are in a survival situation, always try and bug in first. People are always building these packs, expecting the worst of the worst. Why leave? If you have a decent house or an apartment in the city, try and stay in if possible. If it's just a storm, try and ride it out. Unless officials are telling you to leave, then you might want to listen to them. But like out here, we get a lot of snow, a lot of rain, we get a lot of flooding. If you look down back, that whole area will be underwater in the springtime. It will just torrential downpours here, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Our weather changes every 5 minutes, so you kind of have to be prepared for everything. A lot of people around here always keep extra stuff in their vehicles, just to get home, or if they do have to leave, or if you get stranded somewhere. Snow is definitely a vicious bitch around here. She is not our friend. Um, it gets bitingly cold, you know, 10 to 30 below zero. For any of you not in the States, I'm not really great with calculating Fahrenheit to Celsius or miles to kilometers. Very little knowledge about that right now, so I apologize if you are not from the States. Um, just learn your area. I also had the benefits of a job that allowed me to drive around, so I know every road in this area, the ins and outs, all the dirt roads, good places to hide, good places to fish, good places to hunt, a little bit of everything. Um, when you're building your pack, you want to keep in mind redundancies are not bad. They are usually very good. Redundancies with fire, redundancies with blades. You're going to see a lot of that in my actual pack. You're probably going to be wondering why I have so many. I also have extras for other people in case I'm with somebody. I constantly camp with other people who are either lacking some sort of fire starter or some sort of extra knife. You're going to see some of that stuff in there, and that's why I have so many of them. Again, I'm a bigger guy. I can carry more of a load. I don't mind carrying extra stuff for other people. Um, in fact, I would rather have it and have everybody be prepared than not have it and have somebody in my group be SOL to the point to where they might not be able to survive, or they're just mooching too much off of me to where I might not be able to survive. Um, you don't want to get carried away. You want to make sure the pack is built for you. If you're 100 pounds, you're not going to want to build, a 50 to 70 pound pack. You're going to want to build something a lot lighter and maybe get some bigger friends. Um, you definitely only need to pack what you need depending on your situation. Like I said, my pack is very versatile. I use it for a lot of different things. The loadouts will constantly change. So there are also some things I don't have in here at the moment. And I'll get to those when I get to that point in my pack. Um, all right, let's jump into my EDC gear real quick. I'm just going to actually pull it right out of my pockets. First off, you can already see I wear a watch and a couple of bracelets. Watch is just a watch. Always good to have a watch, pocket watch, something not a cell phone, in case your battery dies or towers go out. Say for all of you really huge enthusiasts, EMPs. Um, it's you'd have to get an older watch for EMPs, something that you would wind up. Anything with a battery would still be affected. Um, but you definitely want to have a secondary source of time, and watches are also good for finding your way through the woods if you're an experienced enough survivalist. You can use the sun and calculate where you are pretty roughly. Um, and that's another thing with knowing where you are, where you live. I know a lot of the plants and berries that you can and can't eat in our area. Um, Areas that will house better animals. I personally don't hunt. That's not a life choice. I just don't do it. It's don't have time for it really. I have friends who hunt. I've gone with them hunting before. It's fun. If you're against hunting, you're probably going to want to at least suck it up if you're trying to survive, or at least get a fishing rod. There's somebody driving a dirt bike through my lawn. We have substantial amounts of food and plantation or plants that can give you energy and stuff if you're trying to survive. Calories are always your best friend, especially in the winter when things are hard to find. Nuts and old berries are constantly found on the bottom of the forest floors around here. Alright, I also have the typical 550 paracord. I wove this myself. I wove it significantly tighter than what you'll probably find in a store. This gives me about 8 to 9 feet, and I actually keep it pretty tight on my wrist. If I wanted it to go a little bigger, I'd probably get about 10 feet of paracord. 20 feet if I did the King Cobra, which is where you do the Cobra weave on top of another Cobra weave. There are videos on how to do those. If anybody really wants to, I'll make one and show you how to do it. It's really easy, but there are already videos out there about it. I also keep a bracelet. It has a Celtic knock on the top. I'm very Celtic, proud of my heritage. But the dual purpose of this is that the underside is kind of a roughed up leather. So you have something to really refine your blades when you're sharpening them out in the field. That's something that a lot of people, I don't think of. Everybody carries sharpening stones and sharpening rods. I even saw some guy with an electric sharpener in his pack. Nobody carried anything to really hone your edge. When you sharpen a blade, it builds up a burr on one side, no matter how you sharpen it. And that just kind of helps get rid of the burr, helps you get that really sharp edge. Pardon me. I carry a Gerber, just pocket knife. I really like the Gerber series. These knives have been pretty solid for me. This one is not bad. I like the fact that it's got the hole in there. Gives you a little better finger placement. You can snap it onto a beaner, snap it onto your pack so it's readily accessible if you really want to. Just the most recent one that I picked out, it's been really useful. I've had it for about 2 years. Absolutely love it. If you're in a fighting situation, blade out or in, you can hold it easily in your hand. One of those two ways, and it's not really going to get knocked out of your hand too easily. Definitely a solid knife. The only problem I have with it is that these rings tend to pop out if you get a little too hard with it. But for that reason, I carry another Gerber, which is just a solid fixed blade. It is the Bear Grylls paracord handle. I'm about ready to get rid of this orange paracord. Not because of, I don't like the fact that it's being bright, but it's wearing out. I'm a bigger guy, so it rubs on my pants. So I'm actually kind of rubbing through the paracord, and that's not going to do you any good if you have bum paracord. And this offers you, I think, somewhere around 40 inches. I don't quite remember, but I believe it's 40 inches. Solid fixed blade. You always want to have a good fixed blade with you for the heavier work. Something that you can pound on the back, something that you could throw if you absolutely had to. All around, really, really sturdy. Typically, on my one set of keys, I carry flint and steel. The finger grip on the back of this knife, where you typically put your thumb, is really, really good for striking the edge of fire steel. You get some pretty big sparks from it. Really solid knife, really like it. I was glad when I bought it. It has, I've yet to sharpen it. It's held an edge quite nicely, and I've had it for about 6 months now. Probably give it a touch up here, and not too soon. Still pretty wicked sharp. But I would suggest carrying 2 blades. One smaller, just for your everyday kind of stuff, and one a little bigger if you're like me, live out in this rural area. I use a lot for hammering through wood, for work, anything that needs a little extra, ruggedness. On top of that, I always carry a Zippo. I don't smoke. It's just good to have fire. Zippo is always a reliable brand, easy to refill, easy to take care of. I know some of you are going to comment, just say like, well, why not get a Bic? You know what? I don't care. Zippos are cool. Solid metal case. I don't have to worry about it breaking on me. This lighter has been through hell and back. You can see the front decal there is kind of chipped away and missing. I've had this lighter for going on about 8 years. Never had a problem with it. Always been there for when I'm camping, out and about. Just anything and everything that you would need a lighter for. Really, really solid. Just my wallet. I have asthma, so I have to carry an inhaler. I do carry spares in my pack. For those of you who are wondering, yes, I can still get about even with asthma. I condition myself to where I can run, full on till about a mile. I can walk until the earth, bursts into flames. If I'm on a bike, I can go a couple hundred miles. So it is possible to help condition yourself when you have asthma. I've got the worst kind of asthma. I take some of the strongest medications for it, but you can help make it better. In everything and anything sets off my asthma. Allergies, just a regular asthma attack, smoke. You can work around it. Chapstick. We're just entering springtime here, so I'm not really going to need this for the summer, but during the winter when it gets really cold, really windy, your lips get really chapped, your face can even get very, very chapped. you definitely want something to help keep your lips and face from, splitting. I get those really bad split lips and they just bleed. Really annoying, and easy to take care of with a chapstick. Um, G-Zone Commando, best cell phone I've ever owned. It's rugged. This phone has been in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, couple of lakes, couple of rivers. It's been thrown carelessly, dropped by toddlers, banged in my pocket. I cannot speak highly enough of this phone. If you don't have one, I suggest looking into it. Really, really rugged. I mean, you can hold it underwater for 5 minutes, pull it out, take a couple of pictures and videos. I use it for tubing, camping, everything. Especially for those of you who are really rough on cell phones, this is a phone to definitely try and check out. It really, really solid. Not the most fanciest things, say for like internet. It does have its own internet. It's just a typical smartphone, but it's not like an HTC with a big screen. An HTC compared to this would be a little bigger actually. My fiance actually has the new Droid Razr, and this fits right on top of its screen. So definitely something to look at though. Car keys, these are my backup set actually, so there's not really anything on them. And my flashlight. This I would definitely try and always carry, always have it on me. It is a tread line by Nebo or Nebo, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Nebo. It has a focus beam, and it twists out, twists in. Solid metal. It has the spiky edges on the end for self-defense. I mean, you could really do some damage with that, especially if you're a bigger guy like me. Put that in a meaty hand, that's going to do a lot of damage to somebody. It also has a small magnet on the back, so if you're trying to like fish something out of somewhere, it'll give you about 3.5 inches of extra reach length if you absolutely need it. I love this light just because it's uber bright. When you start it off, really wide beam, gives you maybe about 20-30 yards of light. When it's focused, easily about 115 yards. It definitely would be a recommendation from me. Really solid light. I've had this for going on about a year and a half, and I mean, there's no scratches or anything on it, and I'm part of my equipment. Just a typical guy that way. Really bright. It's got several different settings. At 100%, it's 220 lumens, good for 150 yards. So yeah, really bright. It has 3 settings for high, mid, low. It's got an SOS strobe, and then it has the self-defense strobe. Really awesome piece. Definitely would have to recommend that to everybody. And gum. You can never have enough gum, especially if you're an outdoors person. Helps keep your mouth watering. Find a flavor that works for you. I know like mint works really good for me, or like Big League Chew. I have another friend who only chews like Big Red. Just find something that works for you, something that keeps your mouth watering, something that's going to help keep you and your body thinking that it's hydrated, even though it might not be quite as hydrated as you'd like it to be. It'll definitely help keep you from getting that cotton mouth, dry mouth, and gives you some fresh breath too. It's always a perk. So with that, we're going to jump into my pack. I know we're already pushing kind of a long video here, so I'm going to try and go through this as quick as possible. Right off the bat, you're going to see that I have a belt on the outside of my pack. This is going to be worn by me during any camping situation or survival situation. It was an old, I say old, I think I bought it brand new, GI pistol belt. On it, I have the standard GI canteen with the metal cup. Absolutely love those two combinations. With just that, you have water, something to eat, something to boil water, something to purify water. I would recommend that anybody and everybody have something at least similar to that, a canteen, a metal cup. They're the best things that you can possibly do, and one of the best things you can own. I also have an it was like a Russian or a Czech pouch. I can't remember which one it was. Just 3 pouches in there. The only thing I have in here right now is my bug spray. repel high DEET concentration. Here we get a lot of mosquitoes, and a lot of places don't sell bug repellent with high DEET anymore. I recommend getting high DEET if you live in the woods or any kind of watery area. Here in Western New York, we're surrounded by water, rivers, lakes, Great Lakes, everything. I also have a kukri that I got from a military surplus store. You can get any type of kukri pretty much anywhere. Really solid knife. I don't remember which brand this is. It said so on the box, but it doesn't say anything on the blade. Really solid. I would use this in place of a machete. It would be my, fighting knife. If you're thinking of like a zombie apocalypse, you want to have fun, definitely go for one of these. Big, solid knife. They're intimidating. They're useful for everything. You can do a lot with them. Definitely would recommend getting a kukri or some sort of other kind of bent blade like that. Better for your swing. You get a better chopping action out of it. I wouldn't suggest trying to chop through a tree with one of these. It's going to take you forever. But definitely a good and a useful and fun piece to have. So that's the belt. And then starting with the main pack, I have a machete just slid in right here. This is the cheapo, as you can tell because there's duct tape on it, Walmart machete. The sheath is shit. I would definitely recommend going with something maybe like an Ontario or a Gerber. I'm actually in the market for one of the Ontarios, so I can make a survival machete. You need a harder case for that, but this one is at least very sharp. I made sure of that. I took it to a grinding wheel, rebeveled my blade, spent probably close to 2 hours making this a useful machete. Came very, very dull, not ready to use from Walmart. It's a good starting machete for those who are making a beginning pack, or if you just need an emergency style maybe weapon or tool. It's better than nothing, it always is. Right here on the outside of my pack, I've got my first aid kit. I'm not going to delve into this. If you guys want to, I will make a separate video for it. It is custom made to me. I actually have a request for you guys. If you know any kind of decent sized pouch, this is about an 8x4 pouch. I want something a little bigger, maybe like an 8x6, with the molly straps on it. This particular first aid pouch does not have molly straps and is attached using small carabiners. It's kind of knackering up my molly webbing here. If you guys have any ideas, send me a link. What?
You're in glare.
All right. If you have any ideas, send me a name or a link. It'd be much appreciated. This is just what I'm rolling with right now. I've had this thing for ages. Has yet to fail me. I put a custom paracord, just kind of like shoulder strap on it. It's not overly long, just long enough to carry it by itself if you absolutely had to, or maybe attach it to a different pack. Hell, if you're small enough, you can use it as a belt. Gives me a little extra cordage to work with. You can never have enough cordage, especially in emergency situations. Pack has been rebuilt for anything from a minor cut or scrape to major trauma. And with that, I have to suggest that you take at least a basic first aid course, even a CPR course. Read some sort of manual on like maybe field trauma, something. If you have a first aid kit but don't know how to use it, it's useless, and you're not going to be able to help anyone.